What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop, and you are joining us today for episode 218 and the 2023 SojuTalk Kpop Awards. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. All right, we were gone for the holidays. We are back now, but the regular episodes won't start until next week. So I know if you've been listening to these New Jeans releases, there's 2 of them. We'll talk about them next week, guys. But we have the award show. But before we get to that, a big shout out to our new Fuego patron, Ben, and our new Fire patron, Dr. Club. So shout out to them.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
And now a quick preview of the awards. We will be giving out Rookie of the Year for male and female, Best Solo Artist male and female, Sleeper Song of the Year. We give that one out individually. Boy Group Excellency, Girl Group Excellency, and our 4 Daesangs or big awards for Boy Group of the Year, Girl Group of the Year, Song of the Year, which was determined by the Winter World Cup, right?
Yep.
And then Artist of the Year. So a quick disclaimer, we are not experts in K-pop. We are just 3 K-pop fans, 3 K-pop enjoyers. So these are just our opinions. Feel free to tell us what you would have done with your awards, but don't give us hate because, you know, we ain't claiming to be anything too special. All right. First award. Oh, I also forgot to mention, we're going to be giving out the Golden Soju for the 3rd year. Yes, I found it.
There we go.
And I'm also wearing I wear this tuxedo shirt only once a year, and it is on today. So those
Special
are 2
occasions.
things I had to dig out from like my closet. But first award we're giving out is Rookie of the Year Male. So we give out our Rookie of the Year only to groups or artists that debuted in 2022. And we generally give it to groups, by the way. Last year's winner was Extraordinary Heroes. Wow, I did not remember giving that to them, but we did. This year, though, and the way we're going to do it is we each say who we want to give the award to. We discuss if there's any kind of, like, if we don't agree with each other. But the person I want to give Rookie of the Year Male to is Tempest.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of you know that 2022 has been branded the year of the girl group, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That being said, there might not have been too many hard-hitting, impacting guy group rookie groups, but I do think that out of the bunch we got, I think Tempest is head and shoulders above the rest. So I gotta give it to Tempest. Anita, you agree?
Yes, I also wanted to give it to Tempest. I feel like when I looked through our list of the recently debuted groups, male category, I felt like Tempest was definitely the one that I could remember the most. In their debut as well, because I feel like it was quite refreshing. Some familiar faces as well there. So I don't know. I feel like definitely noticed them more than their competitors.
Same here. I'm also gonna pick Tempest for this one. And I did have to dig around a bit. I did go back and check out a lot of the rookie boy groups that I didn't check out throughout the entire year. I was trying to do some research, trying to make sure that I'm staying a little bit unbiased.
Yeah, because Tempest is the only rookie boy group we covered this year, I'm pretty sure.
I think so as well. And I think for the most part, what my takeaway was that sets Tempest apart from a lot of their competition is the fair amount of balance that they're putting into good vocal qualities, good rapping capabilities, good abilities as a dancer, the overall finish on their tracks.
They show us a couple different looks with their songs as well. It's not just the one look.
Right. But the way the boy group metal works right now, it's not very much focused on like building a very specific character or a concept. So at that point, I'm not too concerned about that, but I'm actually, very quite pleased with their ability to, go through different concepts and kind of show us their take on it so far. So in that aspect, where we're talking about Rookie of the Year, Tempest is probably the group that makes me, I'm looking forward to their next year or this year. Yeah.
They had 3 releases: Bad News, Can't Stop Shining, and Dragon. All 3 were pretty good. Like, I don't have too many qualms with what they've done in the year. I think Yeohwa's going in the right direction with them, and I think clearly, based on their peers, they're the one who deserves it the most. So I guess we all agree the Rookie of the Year Male goes to Tempest, and here is the Golden Soju. I don't know if y'all are old enough to drink it, but it is what it is. It's on the show. So Tempest is getting the soju from us. All right. Rookie of the Year Female in the year of female 2022. Last year's
gosh.
winner was IVE, so IVE is not in contention because if y'all remember, IVE debuted in 2021 with 11, right? So we gave it to them just off of that, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is a little more contentious, right? You got NMIX, La Seraphim, Kepler's in the mix, right? You got even got like Acid Angel from Asia. The Triple S subunit was really good, but I think you gotta give it to New Jeans. Like,
New Jeans.
come on, guys, you gotta give it to New Jeans. If you look at their songs, they actually released like 4 or 5 music videos this year for songs, right? Attention, Hype Boy, Hurt,
Yeah.
Cookie, Ditto, right? They give us 5 music videos, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them are above average. You gotta give it to them. I think the closest out of the other groups is probably La Seraphim, right? I
agree.
think so.
Yes.
With Fearless and Anti-Fragile, they had a fantastic year. In any other year, that I think that would be enough for them to win Rookie of the Year female. But you have the monster that is New Jeans, and I gotta give it to them.
Same here. I agree as well. I feel like also taking into consideration all of those title tracks, because they're all title tracks. They all got a music video. They were all performed to some extent. They were all done in the latter half of the year, so it's only been a couple months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're still going. Like they literally released a new video today, I believe. So it's crazy the content that they're putting out. I think it's really, really detailed, really, really clean. I like it.
Bro, I can't wait to talk about Ditto and OMG. That is,
Yes.
I am very much looking forward to next episode for that. But same with you guys. I also chose New Jeans for the Rookie of the Year female. One thing I do have to point out on top of everything you guys have pointed out is how quickly they have changed the flow of things. How
Yes, they just came in, wrecked house, and everything's changed now for sure.
Right.
Since they
Here's the thing. I think it's one thing to be good. That's being good. That's great. Being good but impactful in a way that changes the game that's not something you see often over a course of a decade. That's where New Jeans really stands out to me because they were having us look at a different format of things, a different structure of songs, the genre,
Yeah.
right? Different attitudes in the way they were releasing marketing material. A lot of this feels like it's, I don't know, all of it's pretty new. All of it's very, very new, and it's not something that is.
They are trendsetters at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of what they did, honestly speaking, would not have been accepted in a different scenario. Like a song like Attention, for instance, would be too bare for most of other K-pop groups. And they somehow made it work. That alone, I think, is I don't know, it's pretty wild and pretty crazy. And I talked about it very briefly with Doug and Anita right before we started recording, but at this point, in January 2nd, where we have had 6 music videos from them, this is technically their third-ish, 2.5-ish comeback with OMG. I don't know. This is the most exciting thing about K-pop these days.
I think they've started off their campaign to when Daesangs Girl Group of the Year level stuff is starting already. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're I
Yeah.
think this is gonna be the year of New Jeans.
If-
It has to be.
Exciting.
If Attention dropped somewhere in February-ish,
Oh, it
And
would have been more
August
competitive.
was the Ditto OMG run, the Artist of the Year would not be a far stretch for these folks.
Yeah, we got to see. I'm hoping we get like 2-3 big releases from them this year. I think it would be very exciting.
I want more.
All right. So the Golden Soju, if we're in America, none of them can drink for 3
Oh
years.
no. Oh no.
The one girl, Haein.
Honey.
No, Haein. Haein's the
Haein.
youngest.
Oh
Haein-
yeah.
Haein would not be able to drink the soju for 7 years till her first
Oh
contract's up.
God.
So that's something.
Jeez.
So
God.
we will give this to Adore as their company, right? 'Cause,
Right.
like, they're not responsible for this, right? So the Rookie of the Year girl group Rookie of the Year female goes to New Jeans. So shout out to them.
Yay.
Yay.
Congrats.
All right. Best solo artist male. Last year, Key won it with Bad Love, if I remember correctly. I think one of the things in 2022 that we look at, we will look at once we've gone on in time, is the solo acts that BTS did, right? How BTS acted as solo artists in 2022. I think that was, especially in the second half of the year, because I was thinking about who would I give best solo artist to. I was thinking about like has to be either one of the BTS guys, maybe Crush with Rush Hour because he had a fun song over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I really came down to two of the BTS members. I was debating between J-Hope or RM, right? You know, J-Hope did more arson, and he also featured on Crush's Rush Hour, right? Then we had RM who did Wildflower and Still Life. I was really debating between the two, but when I came and thought, like, who do I think deserves the most? I'm going to give it to J-Hope. I think you got to give it to him. That being said, some of the other BTS guys did some cool stuff too, right? Jin did the Astronaut. Jungkook did that couples. I think he did one song, and then he did the one for the World Cup, right?
Yep.
So that also happened. But I was thinking about, out of the entire male solo landscape, I got to give it to J-Hope in 2022.
Yes, I also agree here as well. I feel like I was also between RM and J-Hope, but I feel like looking at the releases that J-Hope did and how they were kind of spread out a little bit more and how different they were from each other, including his feature in Rush Hour, I feel like it was like a more wide palette of sound that I saw from him. Like I felt like it really showed like, okay, this is him and his preferences as a solo artist and then his stuff with the group. So I feel like maybe the timing helped in making that argument, where I felt like with RM it was a little shorter, a little quicker in December. So I sided with J-Hope.
J-Hope, I didn't consider J-Hope for solo artist of the year.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. I think his performances were great. I think they were fine. I think I lean closer to fine. They were all right. I wasn't a big fan of More or Arson or his work on Rush Hour really. Astronaut was great. That was definitely up there. I didn't think about Crush at all, to be honest, because I don't see him as a K-pop artist at this point.
That is completely fair.
Yeah. Who else? Key was fine too, but I wasn't super big on that one. But honestly, I didn't really have to go through a process of elimination because I went straight to RM. I didn't think about it for a while. Because to me, Indigo as a project, as an LP, has been some of the most convincing work that BTS members have put out.
Individually?
Not just overall.
Overall.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
including their group stuff.
Ooh.
And I think a big part of what sets Indigo apart from other works is that it doesn't feel like it's trying to prove itself. It knows that it's already proven itself. It's just RM trying to do his thing. And I don't think it's perfect per se, but at the same time, it is an album that I continue to go back to and I continue to try to dig deeper into, because I noticed there are lots of dimensions that actually make him like a I don't know, digestible artist as a musician. And all of this is really, really fun. And I think the quality of music that you get as a result out of all of that is just, I'm sorry, I think it's just way better than some of the other stuff that's been coming out. And that's where I think I ended up getting Best Solo Artist Male to RM instead of J-Hope, which I think I lose here, though.
You lose here because of democracy, sir. So Best Solo Artist Male, the Golden Soju goes to J-Hope.
Yay.
J-Hope. I saw him on the New
Congrats.
Year's Eve thing. Yeah, so shout out to him.
Oh, nice.
All right. Best Solo Artist Female. Last year it went to IU. I think it was the Lilac year, right? I believe so. I feel like this was a more wide open field, right? People who I was debating Taeyeon, INVU. It seemed like all the female soloists had one hit, right? INVU was big.
Yeah.
I also debated Nayeon Pop. I thought that was a big song. I thought the sleeper could have been Yoonha's Event Horizon, and I could have given it to her.
Is she K-pop though?
No, but and then I'm gonna talk about Warren had a suggestion here too, because I'm talking about suggestions. Made complete sense. Sugi, she kissed your brother. Maybe she deserves Solo Artist of the Year, right? So that makes sense to me. But I thought about which song that I feel had the most impact in the K-pop landscape, and I want to give it to Nayeon for Pop. I feel like that one's super viral, and I think that maybe I didn't want to. Like, I was trying to debate: do I like INVU so much because I'm a Taeyeon fan, and because I see her on some TV shows every week? And I was thinking about like how much have I seen these songs in the ecosphere, and I think I've seen Pop a little bit more, so I'm gonna give it to Nayeon for Pop.
Very nice. I I am also there with Nayeon for this award. I feel like when
Did
it
we
came down,
collude, Anita? Did
No, we
collude?
didn't. We
Anita is
didn't.
Doug.
But the thing is, when I thought about it, because I also was like, well, I didn't feel too strongly about the competition here. I want to say because it did feel like it was only one big hit per artist. But I feel like in the scheme of things, right, being Nayeon's debut as a solo artist and how popular the song was, and maybe what it means for her career and her eventual comeback, I assume. I felt like it was a really great start. And I feel like even though INBU was really, really nice, I didn't feel like it was as, I don't know, impactful in the overall Taeyeon artist scheme. You know? Like, I feel like it's a really good song, but is it the one song that I associate with her career? Not as much, where I feel as pop was that for Nayeon this year. So,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Nayeon doesn't have that many solo tracks under her belt to begin with.
Not yet. Not yet.
Fair. Well, I chose the other Yun. Not Nayeon.
Yeah.
I went with Taeyeon. And I think don't get me wrong. I was big on pop. I think it was great. Pop, bubble pop. Actually, no, that's not.
No, not bubble pop.
Bubble pop. Hey, yo.
Nah. Now you know how old I am. No. Nayeon's pop, great stuff. But I was really impressed by Taeyeon. When we talked about I in View as a track originally earlier in the year, somewhere closer to like, I don't know, February or so.
It was really early, yeah.
Right. I wasn't super big on it. I thought it was a nice chill.
I was big on it, dude.
Valid-ish
The whole
Yes,
year.
I remember
The
that.
whole year. I was
Right.
saying there's a banger.
Which is where I'm surprised you chose Nayeon over pop. But anyways, the reason I ended up going with Taeyeon instead of Nayeon is because I guess I was thinking about all the B-sides as well. I was thinking about the whole album as a project and the whole release, because I felt like when I was going back to Taeyeon's discography, I was going back through her old albums, through her newer albums, and this definitely stands out as one of the better ones, this also feels like a project where she's not trying to prove herself, and she already recognizes that she's proven herself, and now she's just taking her time trying to express what she's already capable of. And all of that she does incredibly well, and I think I'm having a lot of fun with that. I Envy You, the actual track itself in the album, is actually one of my least favorite tracks on the album. The whole album itself is actually really great. The I Envy You in the track itself was, regardless of how I liked it, still pretty successful in the general public.
Yeah.
So I think combining those two things, whereas Nayeon only had the viral success of a single track, that's where I was leaning a little more into Taeyeon. But again, I recognize that due to democracy, in this three-person.
Taeyeon got so
Yeah.
many bangers. I was looking at the
She
list while you
does.
were talking about that. She's so good. But yeah, because of democracy, Nayeon wins Best Solo Artist
Pop.
Female. She gets the Golden Soju. Shout out to Nayeon.
Congrats to
Pop, pop,
Nayeon.
pop. All right. Underrated Sleeper Song of the Year. So we each give this out, right? Last year's winners were I gave it to CIX for Cinema. Warren gave it to Lucy for Irrelevant Answer.
Oh, that was me. That was me.
Oh, Anita gave it to Lucy for Irrelevant Answer, and Warren gave it to Chungha for X, and he also gave it to Soyeon for Beam Beam. Dude, you're giving it out to two people 2 years in a row. I'm just looking at this. But, all right, there's a story behind mine, right? I found this song. I don't know which streamer's stream I was watching on Twitch, but it's like someone played it, and I was like, what's this song? So I found it eventually. It's a song called To the Sea by an artist called Rosie. She spells it R-O-Z-Y, right? You probably don't know who the hell that is. But until 2 days ago, I thought this was a real person. Turns out it's an AI.
Oh God,
AI.
I got
Oh,
fooled
God.
for an entire year, like 6 months.
you've been stuck in the metaverse.
Bro, I was like, this is like such a modern problem or issue that I had, right? Where I
Confusion.
liked the song. I thought it was great. And I always thought, I look, because, I listen to a song. I really like the song. What do? You look up the artist, right? That's the first thing you do. I could never find a lot of information on this girl. I was like, is she not existent online? But now it all makes sense because she's an AI. Her Instagram is, I'll just shout it out real quick. It's at ROZY.GRAM. So Rosiegram. You can
So
look it up. She's a virtual human.
Oh, okay. So she has like a personified, like a character
There's a
that.
character, and
Ah.
on her bio for her Instagram, it says Korea's first virtual influencer.
Oh. Oh.
But
Oh.
I looked it up, and they apparently, the engineers behind this girl, made the song so that people in the MZ generation, right,
Oh God.
specifically like the music.
MZ.
So they used an algorithm to figure out what pitch we would like, what her vocal quality would be like, what the
Oh.
song should sound like, and I completely am a sucker to it. Apparently, she kind of sounds like JoYuri and Bygone 4 kind of mixed together the voices.
Hmm.
She has like a JoYuri quality to her voice for some reason.
That's interesting. Okay.
So it was right up
There
my
was
alley.
research done.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they knew
wow.
what they were doing with this, and it kind of worked for me. Yeah. So I just know that was my sleeper song of the year. And honestly, I didn't pick this just to tell the story. This was one of the first songs that came up into my mind as to like ones I wanted to put. And then I did more research. And I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, it's not a real human. But I'm giving it to Rosie for To the Sea.
I'm like looking at her like Instagram. She's like, she went to Brooklyn. She was at the World Cups.
Yeah, dude,
She,
it's happening.
Storyline here.
She was in okay, this was in Dubai. Good lord, international fake person. That's all over the place. Look at that.
That's crazy. All right. Well, for me,
Are you giving it to a real human?
yes, a real.
Oh, thank God.
Someone
Thank
we're
God.
familiar with, Dreamcatcher.
Oh,
They
love
had a
Dreamcatcher.
B-side from their album where Maison was released. That was the main title track. I think the album is Apocalypse Save Us. I think the B-side is Starlight. This song, at first when I heard it, I was like, "Who is this group?" It doesn't sound like the typical Dreamcatcher sound, but it's really really nice. I feel like the reason why is because it has a more retro sound, like a more synthy tempo. It's really nice. I really like it. I think definitely checking out the B-sides for Dreamcatcher a little bit more because I think they explore more sound, more genres in their albums as opposed to title tracks. So yeah, check it out. Starlight.
Yo, this song's fire. What the
It's
heck?
good.
You get to listen to it while we record. Ah, damn, I can't do that.
I remember one time I remember I told you they had like a trance song on one of their albums. Like
Yeah, they're
Oh.
really
they-
interesting stuff.
some of their B-sides explore really interesting genres that I wish that they would explore more.
I feel like Dreamcatcher fits trance though. Like that kind of makes sense.
It was like trance rock, dude. It
Oh,
was
jeez.
I don't remember what song it was, but I remember listening to it and be like, this is amazing.
I cheated again. And I chose 2 instead of 1. I know we're supposed to do only 1, but you know what? I just couldn't choose one over the other. So we're just gonna go with 2 instead. Should I start with the first one or the second one? Which one is more of a shocker? I'll start with One
First
Pill.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
One Pill of Daesangs. He released a solo album earlier in the year. Lots of great tracks. Feels like somewhat like a bedroom pop, indie rock kind of album. Lots of cool stuff going on over here. Sincerity is one of the tracks that's on the album. I think Therese actually recommended it at some point to me. Actually, I think it was on a stream where I was doing Let's Listens. And I heard it. It is one of those tracks that has a very interesting progression and reminds me a lot of like electronica from like the early 2010s slash
Oh.
J-pop a little bit. Like I'm thinking
Oh.
Perfume maybe.
I love Perfume.
Well, I know you love Perfume. That's
need
why
to
I
check
mentioned
this
them.
out.
Yeah. But it still has a modern update. It still goes through, I don't know, like the trap drums that you hear in a lot of pop music these days. But all of that's combined into this nice little track. And it makes a lot of sense for One Pill's voice qualities. All of this, I think it works really, really well. The only thing I have to complain about is the mix quality a little bit. But I think, if anything, it's a little endearing because it's, like I mentioned earlier, it feels like a bedroom pop approach. So I'm not complaining about it too much at all, if anything. So, Sincerity by One Pill is my first pick for underrated sleeper song of the year.
I cannot believe the second song you picked. Dude, like I cannot believe you've done this.
This was actually probably my favorite B-side K-pop song of the year.
Wow.
Really?
Excluding everything from New Jeans, because that they don't really count because
Fair.
there's B-sides / title track thing.
I cannot believe you chose this song.
And it is Tank by NMIX.
I'm so freaky. I'm so fishy.
That is the one.
Fishy.
That is the one.
I secretly love this song too.
It's a great song. You know what beats my mind is like, why aren't they releasing more music like this?
It's so weird in a good way.
Yeah.
It's so weird in a good way, but it's so powerful. The moment it strikes right away from the get-go, the bass, the drums, just like, what's her name? The girl singing. What is her name?
Lily Kyujin? Which
No.
kid?
The
K1?
No, the English girl.
Lily.
Lily.
That was the first name I mentioned.
Was it? I'm sorry. Lily starts off the song, and like all of that combined, it was such a memorable performance. And I'm glad I checked it out because it was, I don't know, it was just way better than the other thing that they did at that point. And it was a perfect introduction to what these people are capable of. It was incredibly memorable. It achieved everything a debut project needs to do. And what was it? It wasn't the title track. It was the B-side. JYP, what are you doing? You have good music. Use it as your thing.
If this had been the title track with that choreography, it would have went super viral, I think.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They would have needed an actual chorus instead of going with the fishy, that thing.
That's true. Yeah.
They would have needed an actual chorus, but they could have done that, you know? It's the track's only like less than 2 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly.
No, it's 3 minutes, pretty much.
Is it?
I'm looking at the studio tune. It's 2:49.
2:49. Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. That's how good the song is. 2 minutes 48 seconds feels like a minute. That's how good the song is. It's like Avatar. The movie's actually 4 hours, but feels like 45 minutes. You know?
Does it really?
No.
It's the opposite. It feels longer.
What I'm trying to say is Tank fell under the radar a little bit because of OO and a lot of discussion around how shocking it was. And yet, Tank was sitting right in front of us. It was achieving a lot of what I was complaining about already. And it is a great song. So, my second sleeper song of the year is Tank by NMIX.
Nice. That's a really interesting pick.
All
right, so the golden soju goes to the 3 songs or 4 now that we given it to.
Right.
Rosie with To the Sea, Starlight, Dreamcatcher for Starlight, One Pill for Sincerity, and NMIX with Tank. All right, boy group excellency. This is awarded to the 3 groups that had the 3 boy groups that had the best 2022. The winners from this category will be the candidates for the group / artist of the year Daesangs. And last year's winners were BTS, TXT, and NCT. The biggest debate I had was, do I put BTS in my 3 or not? Right? That was one of the biggest decisions I had to make. At the end, I came to the decision that although they did tremendous amount of stuff as soloists in the second half of the year, and they did release that album, which was more of a compilation album, right? There wasn't an additional new track. And they had the one release yet to come, right? I thought that was a fine release. I wanted to give it to groups that released more than one song. Because I feel like in order as a group to have a big year, you got to release multiple songs, in my opinion. So that's why I settled on Stray Kids, 17, and NCT Dream. Stray Kids released The Maniac, Circus, and Case 143. 17 released Hot, World, Dream, and Darling. And NCT Dream released Glitch Mode and Beatbox. And I thought all 3 of them were very deserving of boy group excellency.
And Candy. Don't forget Candy.
Right, they remade Candy.
Okay, a remake of Candy. Okay.
That counts. That's a big reason I chose NCT Dream as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Anita, what are your 3?
Well, I think mine are also pretty much the same thing. Stray Kids, 17, NCT. I was torn, and I still am a little torn about differentiating it between a certain group within the NCT ecosystem, I guess, because I did feel like 1 to 7 had a pretty good year as well, but I don't think they had as many releases as a group. They just had a really successful album with 2 baddies and then a tour. They did a lot of touring.
Too bad it's one Porsche. Sorry.
Too bad it's one
But the thing is,
Porsche.
I wasn't a huge fan of that album, but I know that it did really well. So I guess I am leaning more towards Dream in their individual singles. Yeah, and then the remake that they made of Candy most recently.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Two baddies, one Porsche. Great stuff. That album. Hey, I'm speaking.
Hey, Div.
You had your chance. No, I'm just kidding. Here's the thing. Two baddies. I think it was fine. Maybe you don't. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
It's alright. It's gotten better with age.
Lots of the B-sides on their LP. I think this is their fourth album. Good stuff too. I'm not gonna complain. But
That's
the
true,
reason
yes.
I also did what Doug did, and I singled out NCT Dream because NCT Dream as a group I felt was more distinguishable compared to giving
They
it
did
to
fun
the
stuff in 2022.
Right. Like they did like the beatbox glitch mode that run, and then Candy thing at the end as well. I don't know. NCT Dream is the unit inside of NCT where fans have been trying to distinguish them a little bit apart, separate of the whole NCT brand a little bit. Whereas it feels like NCT 127 fans are a little less like that. Normally I didn't get it, but this year, where it felt like a maturization, is that a word? Maturification of their previous concepts. What I'm trying to say is what they've been building up to so far with NCT Dream really blossomed this year. Maybe glitch mode and beatbox and Candy wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was. But I still think that whole run that they had this year was a lot more enjoyable than Two Baddies, where I know NCT 127, they're capable of so much more.
NCT Dream is my favorite aspect of NCT. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. NCT 127, I like some of their stuff, but like they haven't. A lot of the stuff they've been putting out recently hasn't been interesting. Like Cherry Bomb was great, Regular was great, Limitless was great, Superhuman was great.
I love Superhuman. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The moment we started doing the podcast, NCT 127, I haven't started. I stopped liking their releases. The moment we started doing the podcast.
What about Kick It?
Yeah, did we like Kick It? I don't think I
liked
did.
it.
Well, you did. I didn't like
I thought it
it.
was really good.
Okay, Kick It. Okay, fine. How about Sticker? You like Sticker? Yeah? Yeah?
I don't hate it.
You
I like
don't
it
hate
more than Two
Sticker.
Baddies.
Okay. What I'm trying to say.
I'm still saying it's the Seventh Sense is the best thing NCT's ever done, and it was the first thing.
Yeah, where's NCTU?
That's the ship I'll die on. Was that the Seventh Sense was the best thing.
Here's how I feel about the NCT group as a brand. NCTU has been the core. The way I feel about it, NCTU feels like the core of that brand, and they've been just missing.
Well, no, NCTU it means that they just put random people together. That's the meaning.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be the core of their thing.
So what you're saying is that when they pick people specifically for a concept that they know are the best kids, they get the best results.
Yes.
Is that basically what you're saying?
Yes, that's the all-star round. Yeah. And instead, the last couple years, they've been doing NCT 2022, NCT 20... Actually, no, they didn't do this year, but NCT 2021, NCT 2020, that's been like their thing every year. And that's fine, but like you don't need 60 people. They're not 60 people. How many is this? Like 20 people?
20
Something like that.
Yeah. You
lost
don't
count.
20 something people chanting along in each song in a giant pyramid. No, you don't need that. Come on, let's be
All
real.
right. What do you have to say about your other two peoples?
All right, we're giving boy group excellency to 3 groups. Here, NCT Dream, great stuff. Stray Kids.
Wait, Anita, did you talk about all three?
No, because I agreed with Stray Kids 17, and then I was
Okay.
explaining my general NCT choice.
Well, why don't we go through the other two, because they're also the same people for us, right?
Yeah.
How'd you end up choosing Stray Kids, Anita?
I feel like I definitely was paying more attention to Stray Kids in their title tracks this year. I think before this year, I feel like I was kind of not into a lot of their title tracks. But I grew to like Maniac, Circus, Case 143, I think was also really interesting.
Oh, Circus is a Japanese release. It probably
Oh, is it? Okay. I feel like I only heard it like once. But I feel like Case 143 was also a really interesting, I guess, sound. But I don't know. I guess maybe I noticed them more this year in their title tracks.
I think if you go back to the episodes where we discuss Stray Kids, I constantly say stuff like, I normally don't like Stray Kids, but I like this track. You know, like that's.
I think you just like Stray Kids.
I think that's the case now. And that's why they're on my list.
I mean, they hit us with the double Felix chorus this year, right?
They
Maniac.
did.
And it was well. How does the Case 147?
Case 143.
No. What's the chorus? It's not the chorus.
Why
can't I keep this reaction?
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
They released two fantastic choruses between those two songs. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I feel like this kind of thing works really, really well for them. A lot of the stuff that they've been doing before that has been either a hit or a miss for me. I mean, I haven't hated everything that came out of that group, but in particular, Maniac and Case 143 felt much more enjoyable and much more tastefully done because they weren't going. They were much more dynamic in terms of when they need to be loud, they were very loud. When they need to take it back down a notch and just take a chiller, that's what they were doing. Good stuff, you know? Good stuff.
Bro, and then 17 released a ton of good songs this year. Like,
Yes.
there's no other way to put it. All of their songs are like, they're all good. You know, I think the most memorable of these are probably Hot and Darling. I would say Hot is the one that I think is the most memorable, that chorus. They just had another solid 17 year, like a really good year.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I didn't like Hot, but I did like Darling, and I did like the what is it called? World?
Dash
Was
World.
World?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dash World.
it? World. Yeah, that all of those were great.
All right. Because we're gonna average this, Stray Kids for sure. All three of us have that. All three of us have 17, and then two of us have NCT Dream. So those are the three winners for boy group excellency, and here's the golden soju for them. Boom.
Congratulations. Ooh.
All right, girl group excellency. You know, we're still gonna give it to three. Last year's winners, Aespa twice and Stacy somehow won it last year. Yo,
Wow.
that's impressive. I
Wow.
don't remember that. I think in terms of giving out this award, it comes down to four groups, and you got to give it to three of them, right? IVE, G-I-DLE, Blackpink, New Jeans, and if you're gonna pick a fifth, maybe Le Sserafim, right? You have to pick out of those three. If you're not picking out of those three, I can't trust you. You know, you have to. I think two of the choices pick themselves. IVE, Love Dive After Like, G-I-DLE, Tomboy and Nude. You gotta put them in there, right? I think that's very obvious. I think those are some of the best groups of the year. The third choice then brings me to Blackpink, New Jeans, Le Sserafim, right? I was weighing which did I think had the most excellent year out of the three of them. I came to the conclusion that I might not be the biggest fan of the songs, but the impact they had this year, the amount of sales they did, the tour they did, all of these things together made me put Blackpink as the third choice.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, you could disagree, whatever. You could pick any of those three at the end, but like, I feel like Blackpink did a lot in 2020.
They did. I feel like for my three, I definitely agree with IVE and G-I-DLE. I guess even though I felt like there was a lot of significance with the Blackpink comebacks and the releases, I didn't. Maybe it was the personal preference of the songs. Like I didn't quite feel like I was 100% sold on them. So I would put my third to New Jeans.
Ooh, okay. I think that's completely reasonable.
Yeah, but I feel like I definitely see the argument for Blackpink because they did a lot, especially with the tour you mentioned. Yeah.
I think I was also split between New Jeans and Blackpink a lot, right? I also chose IVE and G-I-DLE. And at that point, it really comes down to personal preference. And the way I interpret their version of 2022 has been Blackpink continue doing what they're already good at, try to expand a little further. Was it successful? I think to a very fair degree, yes, because it was, you know, the numbers, big boy numbers, you know.
Yep. Don't lie.
On the other hand, New Jeans felt like like a introduction to something that is
Special. It's special,
and not only special, but I don't know, somewhat of a game changer, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say that very lightly. I mean all of that. And what's been cool is watching a lot of groups kind of go after that sound a little bit.
Groups are scrambling to capture the same magic.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, it's only been a couple months. Let's be honest, right? Because
It's only a few months. Yeah.
right, Attention was what, like August, was it? Something
Yeah.
like that, right? Yeah. Technically, it's only been 4 months, and we've had tracks kind of go after a similar attitude, a similar tone. And I can't ignore that. I can't ignore that because that's the same reason I was interested in Blackpink 5, 6, 7 years ago when they led this whole girl crush hip hop revolution. Blackpink continues to do what they're really, really good at. New Jeans, we just don't know yet what's really gonna happen. So that's where I lean a little bit closer towards New Jeans and choose I-DLE and J.
All right. So that means the winners of Girl Group Excellency are I-DLE and New Jeans. They get some more golden soju. Boom.
Congrats.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna move on to our Daesangs, also known as the big awards. The way we do it here, right? We do Boy Group of the Year, and we choose out of the 3 candidates. So it's going to be chosen out of 17 NCT Dream and Stray Kids. Girl Group of the Year, we choose between I-DLE and New Jeans. Song of the Year was determined by our Winter Wonder World Cup, and then we pick an Artist of the Year. So overall, best thing of the year, right? The way we do it here is that you could only win 2 Daesangs if one of them is the Song of the Year, right? So you cannot win both Boy Group of the Year and Artist of the Year, nor can you win Girl Group of the Year and Artist of the Year. And also the Artist of the Year candidates are the 6 groups we mentioned, plus the 2 soloists of the year. That's typically how we do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boy Group of the Year, Daesang, right? It is between Stray Kids, 17, and NCT Dream. If I look at the resumes, right? I'm checking resumes now.
Okay.
Maniac,
Mhm.
Circus Case 143, Hot World, Dream Darling, Glitch Mode, Beatbox Candy. I gotta give it to 17. I think out of all 3 of those groups, 17 had the most consistent year, probably the most well-rounded year, and they released like a ridiculous amount of title tracks in the year. So I'm gonna give it
I
to
agree.
17.
Yes, I feel like also looking at the number of releases and I guess how memorable those releases were
They're
as
super
well.
memorable.
Yeah, I also want to give it to 17. I feel like another thing that I thought about as well, they not too long ago, I think a couple months ago, they did a Dingo like compilation of their biggest hits, right? Like they were just singing. And I feel like wow, like the amount of content that they released so far and the stuff that they're still doing, like currently, I don't know. I just feel like I really appreciated everything that they had done so far, especially this year. So, yes, very deserving to 17.
Kind of agree as well. Can't really say much here. I think that whole run worked out really, really well. Obviously, did I like Hot? Not
It's
I thought
good.
it was good.
It's good. If you don't like Hot, watch Yeji's cover of it, and you'll instantly become a fan of it.
Well, Yeji's not in 17.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
Look,
It will increase your enjoyment.
What I will recognize was that it is incredibly successful. It was wildly successful. They are by far one of the most successful boy group at the moment outside of BTS, which is, for all intents and purposes, not active at the moment. And that was very, very clear. It felt like, I don't know, I don't want to call it a victory lap, but like proof
Yeah.
that they're there. And I mean,
I think they deserve it, though.
yeah, they proved it. I don't know what more to say. Like,
All right. So the Boy Group of the Year Daesang officially goes to 17. Boom.
Yay. Congrats.
Congrats.
All right. Girl Group of the Year Daesang. It is between IVE, G-IDLE, and New Jeans. Because we can't give 2 Daesangs, right? I can't give Girl Group of the Year and Artist of the Year. I want to give it to a girl group this year, right? Because it's girl group it's girl group year, right? I think so. I'm basically going to announce who I want to give Daesang to, right? Essentially,
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to give IVE the artist of the year Daesang this year.
So this leaves.
I debated this for the last 3 days. Do I give it to G-Idol? Do I give it to IVE? I saw G-Idol on Doremi Market this week. All of them were on there too.
Oh, that's
So
a lot of them.
It's rare for them to have 5 guests. It was swaying my opinion. But if I think about the 2 songs, right? We have Love Dive and Afterlike, right? Versus Tomboy and Nude. I think that Nude is my least favorite out of those 4 songs, right? And I think if I average the 2 songs, how much I like both songs, I think IVE has a higher quotient on that. So because of that, I gotta give it to IVE for Artist of the Year. So therefore, I would give Girl Group of the Year Daesang to G-Idol.
I see. I think I also was looking to spread things out as well, and even though like the releases that G-Idol had this year were not my personal favorite, Tomboy and Nude, I feel like they were so impactful, and I feel like it was so interesting from girl groups, I think, because they were not really following a certain trend. They were doing their own thing. I feel like when Tomboy was released, I was like, wow, this is not at all what I was expecting from them, but it worked and it was super popular. So I don't know. I feel like not enough credit was given to them as the sound that they were releasing, because it was very different. So G-Idol for girl group.
Spoiler alert, I also chose G-Idol for Girl Group of the Year. But let's talk about that real quick. I don't think that they were incredibly unique. I think it was very clear where they're pulling influences from, especially in terms of American pop. I'm thinking about Billie Eilish a lot. I'm thinking about, what's her name? There was another person. I don't know. Especially with Tomboy. Was it the most popular sound in K-pop? Probably not, but at the same time, what I will say that made me most interested in putting G-Idol here wasn't the fact that I had to put other groups elsewhere. It's the narrative that built into the success of Tomboy, because they're building right off of the controversy that led into end of last year with a member having to leave due to some controversies, and G-Idol being put in a spot, probably the lowest point in their careers, trying to figure out where to go from there, trying to figure out how to, pull out a narrative after such a, controversial situation that they were in. And the ability to turn that upside down 180 and attain such a high level of success in their careers from that's wild. That's unheard of. You have to realize, you know what I mean?
Soyeon worked magic in 2020.
She did.
She did.
And here's the thing.
Amazing.
Maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I'm not gonna ignore that crazy storyline that they had leading.
They had such a good year.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. But yeah, no.
You seem very scatterbrained on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. G-Idol has been, for the most part, they've been doing great. Have I been the biggest fan of their music? No, but at this point, I don't think I need to be, because I still enjoy a lot of their B-sides. I still enjoy what they're capable of as musicians and performers overall, where they are easily. It's not a process of elimination of putting G-Idol in Girl Group of the Year. They very much deserve it.
No.
No.
I agree.
It's not like a consolation prize. It's a wow, both of you scored like a 99 on this test. I just have to pick a favorite between the two.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I'm seeing it,
Yeah.
right? All right. So G-Idol wins the Girl Group of the Year Daesang. The Golden Soju goes to them. Boom. Fantastic
Congrats.
2022. It was absolutely amazing. All right, Warren, this is your time. Song of the Year, which was determined by the Winter Wonder World Cup. Last year's winner was Twice the Feel. So explain how we got to this point and what happened.
Okay, so throughout the month of December, we had a Song World Cup. So what we did was we received a whole list of song submissions from our listeners. We went through a series of polls to break that down into a group of 16 tracks. From there on, World Cup style, we pitched every song against each other, tournament round style, one poll every day. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up the bracket so that it makes a little more sense. Okay, so this was the result of that. This was the bracket that we went with for the 16 tracks. See here, we went through all of these tracks. We went through Love Dive, we went through Feel My Rhythm, Impurities, Talk That Talk. A lot of you guys this year focused on B-sides, right? We had Impurities
Very
from the Seraphim. We had Basics from Twice. Unfortunately, neither of them made past the round of 16s. What was also shocking was none of these songs were from men.
Yeah, it was all girl group songs or female artists.
All of them.
I don't know. Like,
It was
not
a
a
girl
single
group
one.
year.
we couldn't find one guy group song to throw in this, guys. I thought that was ridiculous. The other thing I want to point out now that it's over, how the hell, like, I love Yenna. Yenna's fantastic. How did Smiley end up top 4, guys?
Okay, so for our audio listeners, Smiley featuring BB by Yena started out in the round of 16s, then it went to quarterfinals, then it went all the way to the semifinals.
Who did it beat along the way? I can't really read it.
It beat Basics by Twice, and it beat Afterlike by IVE.
It beat Afterlike. Wow,
Afterlife?
okay. Yeah,
This-
it beat it.
That was crazy.
The game where they beat Afterlike, I think that was a tie round.
Oh,
Can
it
you-
was
can-
a coin flip, wasn't it?
Right. It is a
Can you... Oh, keep going.
Yeah, it was a complete tie round, so we had to get a Discord bot to do a coin flip for us. And from there, Afterlike lost, which was
Can you go to its semifinal? Smiley semifinal?
Smiley.
I want to say, the people who voted for Yenna in this round, it looked like a list of IZ*ONE fans on our server.
The people who voted for Smiley.
For Smiley at this point.
Over Hype Boy.
Hype Boy. Yes.
Well,
It is what it is.
That's what I just wanted to throw that out there.
I don't know. Some people weren't huge on the Hype Boy thing because it was too relaxing.
You bugging if you didn't put Hype Boy over Smiley.
That was so. The final 4 that we ended up with for the semifinals was Love Dive by IVE and Anti-Fragile by LE SSERAFIM. On the second round of the semifinals, like we mentioned earlier, we had Hype Boy by NewJeans and Smiley. From the first round of semifinals, Love Dive won. From the second round, we won. From the second round of semifinals, we had Hype Boy, which means this was the final 2 games. For the third place game, we had Smiley versus Love Dive. Love Dive won, taking third place. Yeah.
Okay.
For the final round,
So before you do that, our final 2 songs of the year, right? What it all comes down to: Anti-Fragile from LE SSERAFIM, Hype Boy from NewJeans. How do we feel about this matchup? Do we feel like they got the right matchup at this point?
There were great songs.
Honestly, I thought Anti-Fragile would be in the third place match. I thought Love Dive or Afterlike would have been like final.
I agree. I thought it was going to
But-
come down to an IVE song and a NewJeans song.
I agree. Yeah.
I think a part
was
of the
surprising.
reason that I've ended up in third place was honestly because of the matchup that they were getting. Because Love Dive did
Their
fight
brackets.
Anti-Fragile in semifinals, and people were leaning a little more towards
Well, I guess
Anti-Fragile.
what I'm saying is I'm just very surprised at how much people love the Anti-Fragile. Like, I think it's a fantastic
Right.
song.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great
But
song.
I didn't think it would end up in the finals, and that was a cool surprise for me. One of the NewJeans song, I learned that people like Hype Boy more than Attention because I put like I didn't know how that was going to turn out either, but it turns out people like Hype Boy more.
I agree now with that. I like Hype Boy a lot more.
I like Attention a lot more, but it is what it is. But anyways, for the final round, like we mentioned earlier, we had Anti-Fragile versus Hype Boy. Hype Boy won over Anti-Fragile.
Yay.
It was,
Wow.
I think it was like
Amazing.
55% versus
Oh, that's so
56%
close.
versus 44%.
Okay.
So there we go. Hype Boy by NewJeans is Song of the Year, first place, followed by
Wow.
Anti-Fragile by LE SSERAFIM and Love Dive by IVE in third place.
I'm kind of happy that NewJeans ends up with a Daesangs because I feel like they should be in the discussion because I think they're one of the main
Agreed.
things that defines K-pop in 2022. So, NewJeans Hype Boy, Song of the Year Daesang. Boom.
Woo!
Honestly, I'm thinking about it. It's probably the right decision.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 No, I agree. I agree with that. All right, and finally, Artist of the Year, which is our biggest award. Last year's winner was aespa. We controversially gave it to them last year. I remember there was a lot of discussion about that. I feel like this year it came down to our previous discussion of IVE versus G-Idle. Two fantastic years. I don't think any of the solo artists did enough or had big enough songs in order to dethrone them for Artist of the Year. I think that it's the year of the girl group. And between all of when you add all this together, I think you got to give it to IVE in 2020.
IVE.
Yep. I don't know. I think between the two releases after Like and Love Dive, they were wildly successful, right? IVE as a group was like incredibly successful with the general public as well, right? Like they were getting a lot of advertisements. They were very active in Variety. They were just a very relevant figure very, very quickly. Because remember last year we gave them Rookie of the Year.
I know. It's crazy how we're in this era now where like second year groups, even Rookie of the Year groups are winning Daesangs like it's nothing, you know? They're just doing it. And it's like, damn, okay guys. Like y'all are young. Y'all are youngins, but you just win now. I guess it's the trend.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing that scares me now is that companies probably feel like they need to be successful right off the bat. They're seeing these rookie monsters.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, IVE was an exception though, because I think people knew that they were going to be successful. Like from the beginning, there was expectations. 11 was a huge hit, but I feel like things changed after their first comeback, to say, with Love Dive, because that's when I felt like, okay, this is gonna be a lot bigger than people expected. And then their continued success throughout the year, like it felt more like solidifying what was already expected, but very, very quickly. And I think I feel like that's the rare thing. I don't know if every group will have that, but
it seems like YG's trying to do it with the baby monsters.
Oh my god, I saw that. It's crazy.
That's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting.
I don't know. I feel like everyone wants it, but it's not something everyone gets. You know.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
And
who knows? Okay, one more.
Yeah, and like IVE was kind of lucky because they were coming out of the result of IZ*ONE, and they already had a lot of success that was ready to support them already. So, not every group has that opportunity right off the bat.
Yeah, I think we could see New Jeans pop off in this year. I think Stacy's potentially. We might see one of the boy groups finally break through in a big way.
That's true.
Now that BTS is on essentially a musical hiatus, we could see like TXT finally emerge. We could see NCT be like, no, this is our year now. Like it's us.
We'll see.
Straight
we'll
up.
See.
We'll have to see though. Overall, a great year. I think that. Oh, I forgot to give him. IVE gets the biggest shot glass of soju. Shout out to IVE.
Soju.
What a crazy year. That completely unexpected. If you had asked us at the last awards who's gonna win Daesang of the year, we would have said like BTS, twice Blackpink.
Yeah.
IVE though versus G-Idle in the finals, and a rookie group that we didn't even know existed winning Song of the Year. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were already like on the fence about giving them Rookie of the Year. Like we were like unsure about that. Remember?
Yeah, I remember because we're like they only had one song, 11, and I was like, it's not that good. Like I remember saying that, but yeah, they completely pulled it off. So that wraps up the awards portion. The final thing we're gonna do, so we don't have to do it next week, is we're just gonna talk about what we did over the Christmas break. So if you're here for just the K-pop, you should dip now. We're just gonna go straight into it. No break this week. Okay, so let's get out of K-pop mode real quick, right? Disconnect. So bye everyone who was here for the K-pop. Christmas break was a fun time. My nephew and my sister and her husband, they all came over. We had a nice Christmas thing. It was fun. The baby is so big, it's insane. He's so heavy. His head is so big. It's ridiculous. Yes.
He's healthy.
Fun times though. Very healthy. Holidays have been a good time to relax. We didn't do the podcast for a month, and like in the holiday season, the fishing shop I work at, we close. So it's been like a very chill time here. We're just hanging out,
Nice.
Really enjoying it. Haven't done
Good
too
to
much.
rest.
Complete holidays mode.
Yeah, it's been great. Warren did exciting things though.
Oh yeah.
I'll go last. Anita, you can go first.
Oh me. My Christmas holiday season was a little rough.
No.
The week of the 19th, we weren't recording by then, I believe, right? I
No.
think that was the first time we were like officially off. I got really sick. That whole week I was feeling terrible. I had what I thought was like a flu, because it's just the time of year. A lot of people were sick, but now I'm not sure if it was that. I think it might have been something like the upper respiratory virus.
Oh.
RSV, I think is what.
Yeah,
people were calling it.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I felt pretty bad because I haven't gotten that sick this season. Like,
Was
the
it
winter.
coughing? What was the symptoms?
Symptoms were it felt like a really bad cold. So I would have like chills, runny nose, just like a lot of congestion. And then after the fact, when I was actually feeling overall better, I had a pretty consistent cough. Like if I talked too much, I would start coughing. And even now, it's getting better, but randomly I might get like a coughing thing here and there. But overall, I'm doing a lot better now.
God.
Thankfully, I was not as sick during actual Christmas time, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Because the rest of my family was also sick, and so I think we all just
God damn.
got it.
Man, you've been
Yeah.
sick this entire time.
It was really rough.
That's what it seems like.
Dang.
Yeah, but I think I'm doing a lot better. But yeah, same thing. A lot of just resting. Here in the Midwest, I don't know about New York and the rest of the places where we are all dispersed, but we had so much snow.
We got none at my house.
Really? We
none.
had so much. A lot of stores closed last minute, like before Christmas, because we had a winter storm warning like 4 days straight. Like you couldn't go
God damn.
outside. The
Damn.
roads were really bad. I think on the news I saw like a lot of areas also had like so much snow. Mostly in the northeast, I want to say Midwest area. So if we were out there, it was really bad. But now it's gone. All the snow is gone. It was really weird. It was only like a week that it lasted, but yeah, the roads are better now, so that's good.
Man, so Doug relaxing, Anita sickness, it seems.
Struggling.
The struggle, and Warren vacation.
Yeah. I mean, at least in Michigan, if the roads are bad, they put salt on the ground.
They do,
know?
yeah.
Not in Korea, apparently. They don't. It was awful.
They don't?
So I was in Korea. I was in Korea for about, I don't know, like 2.5 weeks. I actually counted. It actually wasn't that long. I spent half of it traveling by myself / doing a lot of the chores that I need to take care of, like taking care of my bank account, taking care of my phone situation, stuff like that. Not anything particularly interesting. But I did spend a good amount of it hanging out with friends. One of my closest friends was having a wedding in Korea. That was the whole thing.
Nice.
What else did we do? Here's the thing. We did the wedding, and then 2 of the days following the wedding, me and my best buddy, we went to Jeju Island. Now Jeju Island, for those of you guys who are not familiar, is an island off the southern shore of South Korea. It's lovely. The weather's supposed to be great.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The day we go, it snows apparently
On the island?
on the island, which it's apparently a very rare occasion. And I was like, dang, like, is everything gonna be okay? And I was like, oh,
One of the seasons I watched the I-DLE show in Jeju, it snowed too, and I thought that was weird.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a commonly occurring thing. Now, we were lucky. It didn't really, the weather cleared up by the time we were there. We were only there for 2 days. We were fine. Technically, on the morning of the 3rd day was when my flight back to Seoul was planned. And it started snowing in Korea. So my flight got delayed by like 2 hours, which, I was annoyed. I was very annoyed.
That's not that bad.
It's not too awful. It's particularly not awful because the day after that, it snowed a ton in Jeju.
Oh,
A shoot ton.
you would have.
And all the flight, Yeah, all the flights got canceled that day apparently.
Wow.
Damn, it would have been like Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing over here.
Yeah.
Flights got canceled too.
Yeah. People were apparently like stuck there for 24 days and like hotels were like literally sold out. Like what's his name? Din Din? Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah.
He was stuck there too. Like it was a mess. So I really lucked out. I can't complain. What else did I do? I went to Gyeongju to visit family for a bit. I went to Busan to visit my other friend for a bit. And overall I had a lot of fun. A lot of the stuff that I did in Korea, I like took videos so that I could probably make something that's like actually content.
Maybe?
But at the same time, Korea is one of those places where like these days it's not really cool to film on the streets.
It's not?
No.
Weird.
Why
not?
I think it's related to the mocha controversies that's been, popping up in Korea.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay.
So most of the footage, you're only gonna see me and my face only. So if you're trying to see what Korea's like, you're only gonna see the streets in my face. But I had some other cool footage as well. One of the moments that stuck out a lot to me in particular was one of the first couple days I was there. I took time out of my schedule to step aside and visit Itaewon, because they have the memorial set up over there.
Okay.
There was the wall where the whole situation happened. They had the entire wall full of like post-it notes, full of like messages towards the people who left us. And that was quite sad. It was quite sad. But at the same time, it was incredibly heartwarming as well. What was not very any of that was there were a lot of political playing cards hanging around. Stuff like, oh, this party's responsible for that. Oh, that party is responsible for that.
We watch Korean news sometimes in my house. It seems like no one's doing anything in the because there's politics, right?
It's become a game of politics. Yeah,
it's so stupid.
That sucks.
Look, we don't talk about politics on the show. That's like one of our golden rules. But for this matter, I don't think it applies because I'm trying to shit on both of the parties. Stop being stupid people and just take responsibility and move the fuck on because it's stupid. And they're out here just pointing fingers. This is not stupid. And I understand it's not cool to look like you're the cause of a huge situation like this. But then again, is it the cause of just one person or a single political party? No. No. Stop trying to blame it. Stop trying to blame it on a single entity for this sake. Because one thing I noticed when I was in Korea is that this is just my take. So, take it with a grain of salt. But Korea, for the most part, the way people, walk around and whatnot, they end up in situations a lot where there's a lot of people in a small area of space, physically very crowded. And they don't really bat an eye because it happens very frequently. Like, try taking the subway. Try taking number 2 at 7 p.m. on a weekday. It's going to be crowded as shoot because everyone's trying to go home from work. I was literally being pushed around against my own will. I'm not kidding. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, I can, if people are dealing with this on a daily basis, I could, I'm imagining that kind of played into that as well. I don't know. Just trying to provide a little bit of cultural context that I noticed when I was there. Like another thing, like I was in a club in Hongdae, and like it was a Saturday night, like 1 a.m., which is the most popular time of the club. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is very crowded. I'm being pushed in many directions. Not very pleasing. And I just bounced out and just went drinking somewhere else. And that was a lot more fun. I feel like that. I don't know. Anyways, other than that, though, Korea was fun. I had a lot of fun. A lot of great food. I had pork katsu a lot. Yeah. I will share all of that in the near future once the opportunity arises. So, stay tuned.
Because pictures.
Okay. I think that wraps up everything. So this has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We had the 2023 Soju Talk K-pop Awards. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll see you guys next time when we have our first actual regular episode of the year. So Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year's. Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Bagel, Based Mina, Brian, Shadow, Cotton Ball, Delmonic, Ellie, Genki Boy, Goku Mama, Jacob, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, NJ Parks, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erday, Koala, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.